All right, welcome to Justice Served. You know, that Baldwin thing that disappeared last week doesn't mean it's over. Alec Baldwin may have had the criminal case dismissed against him for bizarre reasons we'll get into it some other time. That doesn't mean it's gone, Linda. I mean, we got some civil matters to kick around.
Well, yeah, we have civil matters. We have insurance company matters that are going to be involved in the civil matters. But the criminal case, goodbye, so long. Misconduct, farewell, except for we may find an attorney to spar. But that's a whole other issue.
That's totally a different story. So to help us understand today what was going on the set of Rust in New Mexico, a guy who I would say needs no introduction, but that would be no fun for me. So let me give you an introduction. This guy's the founder of the Science in the Movies operation, president of Special Effects International. He does stunts. He does gun stuff. He does special effects. He's worked in so many movies. Let me just mention a couple here. The Firm, The Client, The Jungle Book. He's done TV like America's Most Wanted, All My Children, you name it, all the alphabet letters of ABC, NBC, CBS, PBS, MTV, HBO. He's been in the midst of all of this, and I believe this is a true little-known fact. He speaks French, so we'll find out if that's true or not. So, bonjour, mon ami. Steve Wolf is here.
Bonjour Michel, bonjour Linda. Alors, on va faire ça en français aujourd'hui. Bon, d'accord. Alors, le métier avec Alex Baldwin. Yeah, all right, never mind. I went to school in Switzerland, so.
Oh, very cool.
So first I wanted to take minor issue with something that you said, that he was thrown out on something silly. I don't think that the defenses that are in place in our court system to keep innocent people from going to jail are silly.
Thank you.
And I
would much rather. I apologize. We've talked about it before. In great detail.
Yeah, I would much rather have an arrogant actor who doesn't really represent any threat to the public set free than compromise the system for how evidence is introduced against people. And if the defense wasn't given an opportunity, because discovery wasn't shared properly, that's the most important thing in this case.
No doubt. And
whether Alex
this is akin,
whether he broke the rules, sure. He got himself into court because he broke the gun safety rules, and he got himself out of court because the prosecutors didn't follow the rules of criminal procedure. So
and the more we hear about it, the more egregious it really is.
Well, yes. I would say that what the prosecution did was as bad in the legal world as what Alec did in the gun safety world.
Good analogy.
Thank you for saying that these things are important, because we had a whole discussion this afternoon about that. That exactly right. And we see prosecutors that seem to be ignoring these rules in almost every case we're seeing right now, and we can't continue like that. We just can't. That's not our system.
No.
And
thank
Linda, you for saying that.
Right, Linda. It could be you. It could be me. It could be Michael. Any of us could get hauled into court for anything, and we want to make sure that all of the measures that are in place to protect innocent people are provided to everyone, no matter how stupid or arrogant they may be.
So let me ask you a question germane to the set and the whole case, civil, criminal, or otherwise. We know there is going to be a civil case. There is a civil case.
There is a civil case. Yeah, I'm working.
Gloria Allred is now going to have to roll up her sleeves because, as we've mentioned before, a criminal conviction would have done her job for her. Now she's in the civil arena and going to have to prove, at least beyond a preponderance of the evidence, that in fact there was some negligence in a wrongful death case.
We can do that.
Give us your take. Break that down for us, Steve. What did he do wrong or right?
Can we just stop? Steve, you said you're working on that case?
Yeah, so I'm working for Gloria right now. I've been working for her, about 6 months on this case. I prepared the report. So this will be the expert witness report in the civil matter, which was also referenced in the criminal matter.
Okay, I just think it's important for people to know that, because you're so upfront.
Yeah, so he broke a lot of rules, right? A lot of things were done wrong on this set. There's enough blame to go around. I'd run out of fingers if we were pointing them. But ultimately, when you're dealing with firearms, the responsibility rests with the person who's holding the gun. And even when I'm working with an armorer, I say, look, yes, I'm going to do everything I can, but once this gun is in your hand, you're responsible for what happens. So if you have any questions about whether this gun is empty or not, I'm going to go over that with you. I'm going to show you how to tell the difference between blanks, dummy rounds, and live rounds. And I'm going to load the gun right here in front of you. I'm going to let you check each round. It's really something so simple. A 2-year-old could do it. And that way you know when you're holding this gun that you're not going to risk anyone's life. But he didn't ask to have that done. He hired someone with no experience. Really, the only experience he had was getting thrown off of another set for safety violations. And then he pointed a gun at
What
someone.
can I stop you? Because I don't know enough about what's a blank and a dummy. What's the difference between a blank and a dummy round? You just mentioned that you could tell the difference.
Yeah. Blanks don't have a bullet on the end of them, and they just make noise. So noise and light comes out, a big flash and a bang. There's no bullet. A live round has a primer, a casing, gunpowder, and a bullet. It's designed to shoot bullets. And a dummy round is designed to look like a live round, but not actually have a live primer or gunpowder in it. And to make sure you can tell the difference, we put BBs inside the dummy rounds, as well as drilling holes through the sides of the casing. So you can both look, feel, and hear the difference between them. So it simply wasn't done. Nobody checked. If anybody had tried to check, they would have seen the difference.
So,
Wow.
Steve, Linda and I have had a disagreement about the level of responsibility here as it relates to an actor having people in between the ultimate handling of the gun, the loading of the gun, the care and feeding of the gun. My position is ultimate responsibility lies with the person who pulls pulls the trigger, or no, doesn't pull the trigger, but is holding the weapon when it fires. Linda,
right.
If I'm wrong, Linda, let me tell me if I have this wrong. She believes that the actor should be able to rely on these other professionals and therefore avoid personal responsibility.
You're both right. The person holding the gun has the ultimate responsibility, and there are some people that you could rely on, but not if they're not in the room. How can you say that you relied on an armorer when you know that they weren't even there? She wasn't even in the building. So if you're not actually relying on someone else, then you are taking responsibility yourself. And it's not a prop. This wasn't a prop gun. This was a real gun. So the rules of gun safety don't go away when you're handling the real gun just because you're on a movie set.
What does the first director, or they said the AD, have to do? Because they said she supposedly said it was cold. Then it came into him,
that was
and
a guy
he
named
said,
Dave Halls.
yeah, he said it was cold. That he checked it supposedly, and then handed it to Alec Baldwin. So my view was that if you have two people who said they checked it, guns. I mean, if you handed me a live gun, I was a prosecutor. The only time I've shot a gun twice. Once when I had a murder case and I had to see what the sawed-off shotgun was like, and once at my friend's house in North Carolina, where I shot out a can with wasn't a shotgun, yeah, and then I ended, across the field from the recoil, in the back.
What was the can doing?
That's how much I know. The can, poor can. I brought it home to New Jersey, which is where I was, with all these little holes in it.
That was bad enough for the can.
I was at the can. I don't know what happened. The can, I guess. I don't know. It was given to me as by the homeowner to shoot at. So
I see. All right.
Okay, so I have a concealed carry permit for Connecticut, so I have maybe a skosh more experience with guns, but I still feel, Steve, that if somebody hands me a gun in any scenario and it takes me 15 seconds to make sure it's not loaded with real ammo, I'm going to invest that 15, 20 seconds to avoid killing somebody. I don't know. That's just my thought.
Yeah, absolutely.